Hey guys, this is Corey again. We are going to continue through with Prerak Garg's presentation from Imagine AI. He's talking right here about GPT 3.5 and then moving on to GPT 4 and GPT 5. Then right after that, that's where we'll kind of get into a little more content, but this is just some information on, and it probably overlaps with the last video, on GPT 3.5, 4, and 5, just their capabilities. So this is showing GPT 3.5.
Is really good at a range of tasks, right? Whether it is history and sociology and so on. And with every generation of model, the performance is going up. GPT-4 is much better than GPT 3.5, and we have to see where we will be with GPT-5, which is coming soon. So, which it means like...
Okay, so I'll go over this real quick. He kind of talks about it, but he goes through it pretty fast. So, benefit, this is on the vertical axis here, is the benefit of a large language model, the percent of tasks with major potential impact. And he goes over who did this study. It's actually pretty interesting. I'll move my image so we can see that a lot better, but it is showing the GDP, US GDP down here on the bottom, up to $3 trillion, which real estate is the highest one to be impacted, most GDP dollars. And then percentage-wise, what percent of the tasks with major potential impact will these different industries see? And let's take a look here and see what he has to say.
Means that these models have broad applicability across different industries. So if you look at the x-axis here, it's the US GDP contribution, and on the y-axis you have the percentage of tasks across industries which will be impacted by large language models. It's based on a study done by University of Pennsylvania and OpenAI. Now, traditionally, when we used to think about AI, we used to think about manufacturing and traditional industries, and think about robotics, workflow automation. And even 2 to 3 years before, we would never have thought about like AI will impact finance, it'll impact professional services, information technology, right? And if you look at this chart now, these are the industries which will be impacted by generative AI the most. And these are the industries which are also contributing to a large chunk of GDP. So we'll see a major overhaul in our economic structure and GDP.
Okay, so let me back up just a little bit here, and let me see if I can get that to go away. I can't. So anyhow, what he's saying is that we always thought of physical processes or manufacturing processes that had equipment, that had machinery, that had robotics in them being impacted by large language model, but this is showing things like finance, professional services, real estate, and really what he's saying is just exactly what he said. There's going to be a major overhaul of a large amount of our gross domestic product and the way that they do business. It'll be in in this case, somewhere in the 35% of the business will be impacted with majorly impacted. So, we're kind of right now working with real estate, a little bit of finance, some professional services. I don't have anybody in the manufacturing space, but these are some of the big ones right here. But we're also going to be able to impact all these other areas as well with AI. So, I'm not doing only the voice AI, but there's more. There's certainly application for conversational voice AI, such as Air.ai, which I've got a license with them. So just generally looking at this thing, there are a lot of areas here that just you would not even believe. Agriculture's got one of the smallest percentage of tasks and also the smallest GDP impact. But there are a lot of different opportunities here, for sure. Certainly healthcare is a gigantic one. I'm a little bit surprised on this education. It seems a little low. education is, I would expect to be, a larger GDP impact, and also, especially, like it'd be, I don't know. They did the study, and I assume that education is like the university. Anyhow, just a quick overview of the applicability and where, what it's going to impact. I've talked about this before. I had a picture of this from the side and was able to kind of go through it. You couldn't see it. You couldn't hear his narrative because I wasn't recording his voice. But now that I've got access to these videos, I'm able to make this video and make it a little more clear as to what we're talking about. And there's a lot of opportunity here. There's a lot of work to do. And all of these businesses, all of these industries are going to get transformed by AI. So once again, the urgently implementing AI is not important if failure is okay. So one of my favorite quotes, and I'll leave you with that.